Picture this. You're in a room full of people. It could be your workplace, a holiday gathering, or just a dinner table with guys you've known for years. The vibe is good. And then it happens. Someone says something about you, out loud, right in front of everybody. Maybe they mocked the way you talk, or dragged up a mistake you made years ago. Maybe they took a shot at your career, your weight, or your ambitions. It doesn't really matter what the joke was. What matters is this. Every single pair of eyes in that room slowly turns toward you. In that split second, your heart drops. Your face flushes hot. Your mind goes completely blank. And usually, you do one of two things. You either snap, get angry, and say something you regret, or you swallow the embarrassment whole, force a smile, and pretend it didn't hurt. And later that night, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., you torture yourself by replaying the scene, thinking of all the perfect comebacks you should have said. Listen to me. The reason that memory still haunts you isn't because of what they said. It's because, in that moment, you didn't know how to handle it. But today, that ends. By the time this video is over, you are going to know exactly how to handle public disrespect. You won't just survive the moment. You will own it. You will walk out of that room with more respect than you walked in with. Stick around, because the psychology I'm about to share with you will permanently change the way people treat you. Chapter 1. The Anatomy of an Attack. Before I give you the tactical moves, we need to fix how you view these situations. Because right now, you're probably getting the fundamental psychology completely wrong. When someone embarrasses you in front of a group, your brain immediately registers it as a personal attack. It feels like they're trying to destroy you. But here is the brutal, liberating truth. Most of the time, public humiliation has absolutely nothing to do with you. Let me explain. Imagine a small dog that aggressively barks at everything. It barks at passing cars, at falling leaves, at a gust of wind. Is the dog barking because the wind offended it? No. The dog is barking because of an internal chaos, a deep-seated anxiety inside the dog itself. The guy taking cheap shots at you in public is exactly the same. He's barking. And that bark tells you everything about his insecurities, and almost nothing about your flaws. People who pull this kind of stunt are desperate. They need the group to laugh so they can feel a fleeting sense of power and importance. Deep down, they are scared men hiding behind loud voices and sharp tongues. Now, understanding this doesn't mean you let them walk all over you. It means you stop fighting from a place of panic and you start responding from a place of grounded power, because there is one golden rule in social dynamics that changes everything. Whoever loses control first loses the room. If you get angry and yell, you lose. If you shrink into your chair and go quiet, you lose. The man who stays perfectly calm, who doesn't even flinch, that is the man the room respects. The goal isn't to destroy them with clever words. The goal is to stay entirely in control and walk away with your dignity bulletproof. Here are the 5 ways to do exactly that. Chapter 2. The slow blink. The first technique sounds almost too simple to work, but trust me, it is lethal. I call it the slow blink. When a guy throws a verbal punch to embarrass you, his entire game plan relies on your reaction. He wants the awkwardness. He's banking on your anger, your nervous laughter, or your visible discomfort. That reaction is the fuel for his little fire. So what do? You completely deprive him of fuel. Do not react immediately. Pause. Take a slow, deep breath. Look him dead in the eyes with a completely neutral expression, and blink once slowly. That's it. By going dead calm, you leave him standing there with his joke hanging in the air unsupported. You replace his expected victory with a heavy, suffocating silence. Awkwardness is like a hot potato. If you don't catch it, it stays in his hands. Your calmness here isn't weakness. Your calmness is pure, unadulterated control. And in a room full of people, control is the most intimidating force there is. He will start to fidget. The group will start to wonder why you're so unbothered. And you are already winning without having spoken a single syllable. Chapter 3. The spotlight's turn. Moving on to technique number 2, the spotlight turn. Here is where most guys make a fatal error. They either freeze up for too long, or they lock eyes with the aggressor, giving that guy 100% of their energy. Both of these reactions keep you trapped as the victim. Instead, you're going to pull a move no one sees coming. You're going to weaponize the group. After your deliberate pause, slowly look away from the guy who insulted you. Turn your head and look at the other guys in the room. Don't look at them like you're searching for help. Look at them with a calm, curious expression, like you're a scientist observing a bizarre experiment. Then you calmly ask the room, did that land weird for anyone else, or is it just me? Or you don't even have to speak. Just let your eyes slowly scan the faces of your friends with a relaxed, slightly confused look. The moment you pull the group in, you are no longer the isolated target. You suddenly become the narrator of the event. You take the massive weight of that awkwardness, and you hand it right back to the room. The aggressor planned a two-man show. He did not plan for you to invite the whole audience on stage to quietly evaluate his behavior. Now, instead of watching you squirm, the group is staring at him, waiting for him to justify his cheap shot. You just flipped the entire power dynamic without raising your voice. Chapter 4. The name and acknowledge. Technique number 3 requires some backbone. It's called the name and acknowledge. This one might feel a bit uncomfortable at first, but it is one of the most dominant tools you can possess. Group bullying relies heavily on a secret social contract. It works like this. He says something out of line. The room goes tense, and everybody silently agrees to pretend it wasn't a big deal so things don't get awkward. He gets the thrill of humiliating you, and he pays zero price for it. You have to break that contract. You look right at him and you name exactly what he just did out loud. You say, "That felt like it was meant to embarrass me. Am I reading that wrong?" Or, "That sounded like a personal dig. I just want to make sure everyone heard that clearly." Listen to me. This is not playing the victim. This is not being dramatic. You are standing up as the only man in the room with the sheer courage to speak the truth out loud. The room will feel the gravity of that. They will respect you for it. And more importantly, you put his behavior on the record. He can no longer hide behind the classic coward's excuse. "Hey man, I was just joking, you're too sensitive." You've addressed it so directly and cleanly that he is the one who looks foolish. Chapter 5. The redirect. Technique number 4 is for a very specific type of guy. Sometimes the guy taking a shot at you isn't even worth the calories it takes to form a sentence. Maybe he does this to everyone, and the whole room already knows he's an insecure clown. Engaging with a guy like that only gives him the validation he's begging for. So you use the redirect. The second he finishes his little insult, you look at him for exactly 1 second. Just long enough to let him know I heard you, but not long enough to signal that his words hold any weight. Then you physically turn your shoulders away from him. You look at the guy next to you, and you seamlessly pick up the conversation you were having before. "Anyway, what were you saying about that project earlier?" Make no mistake, you are not running away. You are actively choosing where your masculine energy is directed, and what you pay attention to tells the room what you value. By turning your back and confidently continuing a real conversation, you are delivering a devastating message without saying a word. You are telling him his attempt to rattle you is so pathetic it doesn't even warrant a response. You aren't deleting him out of anger. You're deleting him out of pure indifference. And for a man desperate for attention, being treated like a ghost is the ultimate defeat. Chapter 6. The calm comeback. Finally, technique number 5. The calm comeback. There are times when you simply have to speak. The group needs to know you have teeth, but we're not talking about loud, aggressive, barking teeth. We're talking about quiet, heavy confidence that tells people you are not the one to test. If you're going to speak, follow these 3 rules. First, lower your vocal register. Do not get loud. The loud guy looks out of control. Keep your voice steady, deep, and almost soft so they actually have to lean in to hear you. Second, keep it short. 1 or 2 sentences max. Over-explaining makes you look defensive. Brevity makes you look certain. Third, do not insult him back. You are not in a street fight. You are ending a conflict while keeping your dignity untouched. For example, if he mocks your career, you look him in the eye and say, "That's okay, not everyone needs to understand where I'm going." If he brings up a past failure to embarrass you, you say, "Yeah, I made mistakes. I'm just grateful I know how to learn from them." If he takes a shot at your personal life, you reply, "I'm very comfortable with who I am. That must make me hard to rattle." None of those are mean. None of them are angry. But they carry a weight that is impossible to argue with. You become an immovable wall. Deliver the line. Do not wait for his comeback. And immediately move the conversation forward. You have approved of yourself. You don't need his permission. Chapter 7. The Aftermath. Now, before we wrap this up, I need to talk to you about the most critical piece of this puzzle. The part 99% of guys skip. If someone humiliates you in public, ask yourself, is this the first time he's done this to me? If the answer is no, then his words aren't the real problem. The real problem is what you have allowed him to learn about you. Men don't choose their targets at random. They test the waters. They push a little bit. If you do nothing, they push harder. Eventually, they feel comfortable humiliating you in front of a crowd because they have learned that disrespecting you carries 0 consequences. The tactics I just gave you are only half the battle. The other half happens after the crowd is gone. After you've handled the situation cleanly and kept your dignity, you find that man in private. Do not bring anger. Do not bring drama or threats. Just bring absolute clarity. Look him dead in the eye and say, "What happened earlier cannot happen again. I'm telling you this directly because I respect you enough to say it to your face, but it cannot happen again." Clarity is the language of confident men, and it is the only language bullies respect. They spend their lives looking for guys who are too afraid to draw a hard line. You are no longer one of those guys. When you handle disrespect this way, people stop testing you, not because you're a hothead, but because you are unshakable. You rewrite the unspoken rules of how men are allowed to treat you. That quiet confidence is what makes people think twice before they ever let your name cross their lips. Look, man, dignity is not something the world hands to you. It's something you claim, and you don't claim it by being the loudest guy in the room. You claim it by being the most grounded, the most certain, and the most in control. The guy trying to embarrass you was counting on the old version of you. He was counting on your panic. But the man who is finishing this video isn't that guy anymore. Before you click away, I want to know something. Drop down into the comments and tell me, what is the hardest part of handling public disrespect for you? Is it controlling your anger, finding the right words in the moment, or just dealing with the replay in your head the next day? Let me know, because your answers dictate what I cover on this channel. And if you want to know the psychological secrets to carrying yourself in a way that stops people from ever trying to disrespect you in the first place, that's exactly what we're talking about in the next video. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, and make sure you don't miss it. Stay grounded, gentlemen. I'll see you in the next one.